Picture this. I'm standing on my front porch, sipping coffee, when Linda Grayson, the HOA queen with a clipboard and a vendetta, dials 911. Screaming that I'm a dangerous squatter on her community land, not knowing I'm a retired sheriff with 30 years on the force. She's pointing at me, her voice shrill, as 3 squad cars screech up. Lights flashing, guns drawn, but within minutes, her lies unravel when they see my name on the gate, and then someone shoots my horse, kicking off a war that exposes a dirty land grab. Let me take you back to that dusty morning in Redstone Valley, Texas, when a bully's power trip turned my peaceful ranch into a battleground. And I showed her what happens when you mess with the wrong cowboy. I'm Nate Sullivan, 62, former sheriff of Redstone County. Now just a guy with a 25-acre ranch I built from scratch after hanging up my badge 2 years ago. Redstone Valley's quiet, wide-open fields, mesquite trees. Neighbors who tip their hats and leave you be. My wife, Clara, and I live in a weathered farmhouse with our collie, Rusty, and a few horses, raising hay, tending a small herd. Teaching our grandkids to ride. This land's my heart. Every fence post I drove, every barn beam I raised. It's where I found peace after decades of busting crooks. My ranch sits outside the Silver Creek HOA's boundaries, deed clear since my granddad bought it in '68, but that didn't stop Linda, the self-crowned HOA president, from thinking she could run me off for a developer's paycheck. It's a sunny Tuesday, birds chirping, when I'm fixing a fence by the creek that marks my line from the HOA's gated McMansions. Linda rolls up in her white Lexus, sunglasses perched, cardigan crisp, waving a pink violation notice like it's a court order. "Mr. Sullivan," she snaps, "you're using community land without approval." Cease immediately. I lean on my shovel, squinting at the paper. "Linda, my deed's older than your neighborhood. This is my ranch." She scoffs, "We'll see," and peels out, leaving dust on my boots. I laugh it off. Retirement's taught me to pick my fights, but the letters keep coming. Fines for unapproved structures, warnings about my public events. I toss them, figuring it's just HOA nonsense. Until it gets personal. One Saturday, my grandkids are over, bouncing in a little inflatable castle near the pasture, giggling as Clara grills burgers. Linda pulls up, parks crooked, and storms over, binder in hand. "This is an illegal gathering on HOA property," she yells, loud enough to spook the kids. I step close, voice low. "You're on my land, Linda. That fence is your line, cross it again." "We've got a problem." Her face twists, but she retreats, muttering, "This isn't over." Next day, a neon sign's taped to my gate. HOA violation, unauthorized use. I rip it down, but a drone buzzes over my barn, dipping low, scaring my horses and making my granddaughter cry. That's when I know, this ain't a misunderstanding. It's a campaign. I'm done playing nice. I post a sign, "Private ranch, no HOA, trespassers recorded," and rig solar cameras at the gate, old sheriff habits kicking in. Evidence is king. Linda doubles down, showing up with a landscaper, measuring my land like it's hers, snapping photos of my porch. I file a cease and desist with the county, attaching my deed, surveys, aerials, ironclad proof. She ignores it, and 2 days later, she calls 911. There's a trespasser on community land. She shrieks, 20 feet from me, pointing like I'm a bandit. "He's got guns, dangerous." I'm in my old sheriff's hoodie, arms crossed, watching her performance. 3 cruisers roar up, dust flying, a young deputy yelling, "Hands up." I raise them slow, giving him the look, 30 years of training rookies in my eyes. Check the gate sign. "Son," I say, calm, "you're on Sullivan Ranch." He glances at the sign, my name carved deep, and freezes. His partner mutters into the radio, and Karen's fake panic starts to crack. Before they can sort it, a shot rings out crack from the barn. My stallion, Buck, stumbles out, blood dripping from his leg. My heart stops. I've faced gangbangers, standoffs. But seeing my horse hurt? That's a different kind of rage. The deputies pivot, guns up, rushing the barn. "Stay back." One barks at Linda, who's clutching her purse, pale. I follow. I was tracing the blood to a tree line 30 yards off, near the HOA's trail. "Got cameras?" the deputy asks. I nod. Barn roof caught it all. Linda's stammering, that horse was already hurt. But I snap, enough, my voice cutting like a blade. She shuts up, eyes darting, knowing she's losing control. I pull the footage on my tablet, grainy, but clear, a figure in an HOA jacket. Muzzle flash, buck rearing. The deputy whistles. That's attempted cruelty, maybe worse. Dr. Ellie Hart, my vet, arrives, tending Buck's grazed wound. He'll heal, she says, but find who did this. I call my old partner, Dan Torres, now a state investigator. He pulls up in a black SUV, silver beard glinting. Trouble follows you, Nate. He grins, but his eyes harden at the footage. This ain't just Karen, she's got backing. Linda's in her Lexus, on the phone, watching us. Paul Reed, HOA secretary, creeps up later, nervous, slipping me an envelope. Emails, minutes. A list of targeted properties, mine at the top. Karen's working for someone, he whispers. They want your land for condos. Dan's jaw tightens. This smells like racketeering. We're building a case. But that night, a fire erupts in my tool shed, gasoline, deliberate. We douse it, but the gas can's the same brand as one near the barn. My cameras catch a flash of gold, a Rolex, on the arsonist's wrist. Paul gasps, that's Tom Wheeler, HOA treasurer. Linda's not just greedy, she's a front for a developer, Ethan Holt. A Phoenix big shot with a history of muscling folks off their land. The next day, a red banner's on my gate. Leave or burn, with a stick figure ablaze. A text from a burner phone. Sell now. I'm not scared. I'm pissed. This ranch is my kid's inheritance, my peace after years of bullets and badges. I meet my lawyer, Rachel Cole, in town, handing over Paul's documents. This is a mafia playbook, she says, but we'll bury them. I rally neighbors, Ellen May, the Patels, old Mr. Carter, who've been fined, harassed, threatened by Linda's HOA. Their stories got me. Ellen's mailbox painted wrong, Patel's kids targeted with fake CPS calls, Carter's home slated for relocation. We're not just fighting for my ranch, we're fighting for theirs. Linda UPS the Andy. Tossing a fake eviction notice over my gate, signed, Enforcer of Community Wellness. Then, a shot shatters my kitchen window. High-powered rifle, meant to hit. Dan and I hit the dirt. Old instincts sharp. Same tree line, he growls. We find tracks, a casing, and a trail cam with HOA tags, packed with photos of my family. My blood's boiling. This isn't a game. It's war. At midnight. Linda's Lexus idles outside, her voice clear on my mic. Vacate in 24 hours, or we bring more than warnings. Dan's eyes narrow. She's slipping. Let's end this. I tip off a local reporter. Feeding her Paul's files, my footage, the bullet hole. By morning, the paper's headline screams, HOA cartel exposed, with my interview, Linda's fake notices, Tom's Rolex in 4K. The mayor calls for an investigation, and FBI vans hit the HOA office by noon. But Linda's crew doesn't quit. At 11 a.m., my gate cam goes dark, wires cut. Power flickers out, phone signal jammed. 4 men in tactical gear emerge from the trees, rifles up, firing at the house. Bullets splinter my porch, Clara's coffee mug shatters. I grab my old Beretta from the lockbox, Dan's got his Glock. And we take cover. I drop one in the leg, Dan clips another's shoulder. Paul's hiding in the barn, terrified. Sirens wail, FBI, tipped by Agent Carla Vega, storms in, rifles raised. Down, they yell. Cuffing the last two. The van's traced to Holt Shell Company, Valley Growth LLC, with blueprints of my house inside. Entry points, camera blind spots. They meant to kill me. Linda's arrested at dawn, screaming about setups as choppers circle her house. Tom's nabbed fleeing with cash. Holt's caught boarding a jet, his empire crumbling. The HOA board quits. Neighbors cheering as feds haul files. I'm on the porch, bruised but standing, when Clara hugs me tight. You did it, she whispers. We host a barbecue. Ellen's pies, Patel's kids on ponies. Carter toasting with lemonade. To Nate, he says, who stood when we couldn't. The ranch is safe, Buck's healing, and the feds slap a no-build order on my land forever. Paul's new community group replaces the HOA. No fines, just neighbors helping neighbors. The DOJ launches an HOA task force, my fight sparking a movement. But last night, a note slid under my gate, no name, typed, we're still watching. Maybe Holt's cronies, maybe a ghost from Linda's crew. Cameras are up, Dan's on speed dial, Rusty's ears are sharp, but it lingers. This taught me. Bullies like Linda thrive on fear, but truth, cameras, grit, neighbors, hits harder. I wanted Clara's quiet sunsets, not a war, but sometimes you fire back to keep your land. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. Ever faced a Linda? Was I right to fight, or should I have sold? That note, what's your move? Let's talk. Because these battles aren't just about ranches, they're about home, and silence lets the Lindas burn it down.